Okay, in this lesson, we're going to talk about something that's going to be very relevant to you guys, if not now, but at some point in the future. When you start to shop for a vehicle, there are things that you're going to need to know when you're shopping for that car, and one is the value of the car that you're purchasing. You can use some statistical measures to help you with the values of the vehicles that you're looking at. But first of all, a good source for the value of a used car or used truck or used any kind of vehicle is a Kelley Blue Book. The Kelley Blue Book, you can find it online, kbb.com. That will give you the values of different vehicles based on the condition that they're in. When you go to purchase vehicles, the value is really going to be dependent on the year of the vehicle, how many miles it's been driven, what kind of shape it's in, things like that. So as you search, you're going to want to compile a list of advertised prices for the cars that you want. You'll find that if you're going to purchase new vehicles, then there's not going to be much difference in the prices of new vehicles simply because they're all in the same condition. They're brand new. But if you're searching for used vehicles, and at some point we probably all will be, then you can use statistics or data to help you determine accurate values for any vehicles that you might be interested in. So one of the statistical measures we can use is the mean. If you remember what the mean is often called the average. So remember how to take the average, you just add them up and divide by how many numbers you're adding. So in this example, these are pretty easy. Jason wants to sell his Ford SUV. He compiles a list of prices from the internet for cars similar to that, and they are $11,000, $9,900, $12,100, $10,500, $9,000. So he wants to come up with a reasonable price. So he's decided to take the mean of these numbers, which is simply the average, and come up with a number.
Hello, Parish community. At this time,
so if you add all of these numbers up and you divide by 5, you get 10,500. So that gives him a good idea of what he should be offering to sell this vehicle for, is around 10,500. But again, it depends on the condition of the car, the mileage, and maybe some options that he might have on the vehicle. Different options can affect the price or the value of the vehicle. So Maxine compiled a list of these car prices: $7,500, $6,500, $5,750, $4,900, $6,250, and $4,200, and we want to find the mean of these prices. So we will add all of those numbers up and divide by 6 to find the mean. So 7,500, 6,500, 5,750, 4,900, 6,250, 4,200. Add them all up, you get 35,100. Divide by 6. That would give you 5,850. So that would be the average price of the value of cars that she's looking at. That would be the average or the mean. Okay. So let's look at some cases where you probably would not want to use the mean. Dory's looking for a classic 1967 Firebird. She finds these prices on the internet: $18,000, $77,000, $22,000, $21,200, $19,000, $17,500, and $22,500. And she computes the mean to be $28,171.43. This number doesn't seem to be a good representation. How can she find a better representation? Well, the issue is in these sets. In these set of values, there's one number that kind of does not. So in these data sets, 18,000, 77, 22, 21,200, 19,000, 17,500, and 22,500. There's a number here that kind of doesn't match or fit in with all the other numbers. See this 77,000? That's kind of far away from all these other values. This number that doesn't quite fit in, these values that do not fit in with the rest of them, that's called an outlier. It's a piece of data that is extremely different than the rest of the data. When there are outliers, the mean is often not a good way to represent the data. In this case, you may want to use the median. If you remember how to find the median, that's simply the middle score. And before you find the median, you have to make sure that you arrange them in order from least to greatest, or greatest to least, but I always do the least to greatest. Pair the numbers starting from the ends and just find the middle number. So if you line these up in order, 17,500 would come first, and then 18,000, then 12,000, then 21,200, 22,000, 22,500, and 77,000. And you can see that the middle number would be 21,200. This is a better representation of the value than what it was when she came up with the mean. The mean, she came up with 28,171, which is not really as accurate as the median here. So if you have an outlier, a number that doesn't fit with the rest of the data, use the median. Okay. So let's see here. So find the mean and median of the following prices for a used car extended warranty. So this is the price for an extended warranty. So the mean, we're going to add them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and divide by 7. So the mean, 1,200 plus 1,650 plus 1,500 plus 2,000 plus 1,400 plus 1,850 plus 1,600 is 11,200, divided by 7 is 1,600. So the mean is 1,600. Simply add them all up, divide by how many numbers there are, which was 7. Now the median, I need to arrange them in order. So it looks like the smallest one is 1,200. The next one is 1,400. Then 1,500. Then 1,600. Then 1,650. Then 1,850. Then 2,000. And I can see that the middle number here is going to be 1,600. So in this case, the mean and the median are both the same. So the mean, you add them all up, divide by how many there are. The median, you line them up in order from least to greatest, and then pick the middle number. What happens if there's two middle numbers? So remember, if there's two middle numbers, so find the median of the used car prices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 numbers. So if there's 2 numbers in the middle, after you line them up, you take the average of those 2 numbers, which means you would just add those together and divide by 2. So this median here, if I want to find the median of these prices, the smallest number is $2,999, then $9,300, then $9,600, then $10,200, then $11,900, and then $17,200. So if I want the median, I need to take the average of these two because those are 2 numbers in the middle. So I add those up and divide by 2. And you get 9,900. Okay. Last thing, okay. The range. The range of a data set is the measure that shows how spread out the data is. The range is simply the distance between the greatest number and the least number. So you take the biggest number and you subtract the smallest number. So prices found online for the same GPS navigation system are $295, $345, $199, $225, and $200. The range would simply be the biggest number, $345, minus the smallest number, $199, so you get $146. Okay, that's it. Some easy statistics to help you talk about values of vehicles when you go to purchase or sell a vehicle.